hear what you've got to share with us today. So thanks for being here, man.
Hey, I'm super excited. Thank you, Dave. Thanks, Kristen. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I know December is always a little bit weird because in December it's kind of one of those things where we're like, okay, we want to take time off, but we know we should be working. Who remembers? You guys can hear me okay, right? Give me a thumbs up. You can hear me all right. By the way, put in the chat where you're from. I learned yesterday. I'm in Puerto Rico. By the way, we don't have any power right now. We have no power. I mean, we do have power because we have a generator. Thank God. Thank you, Lord, for us picking a home with a generator. Susan Frederick actually found us this house. I don't know if you knew that, Dave. You might have known that. But our generator's running, and hopefully everything will stay the way it is. It's got diesel, so we should be good for this. And that's how it is. That's the other side of Puerto Rico that sometimes you don't hear about. But this whole time thing, I sent a message out yesterday I thought it was a good time. I sent it out at 7 in the morning. Well, what the computer, automation is great, but what the computer, I told it, I said, adjust for people's time zone. Okay, so the people that were in Oregon, I think they didn't really appreciate it because they were getting texts from me at 3 in the morning, and I did send out a few. So anyway, talk about being early. So let's jump into it. Agent attraction, this is the time, this is the season to do it. And when you're talking about, typically we all know that December, I joined, most of the brokerages that I joined, my first brokerage I joined in December. When I joined Keller Williams, it was in December, or it was actually in December when I met with Gary Keller, and he recruited me to Keller Williams in a December, and that was in 2008. And then I joined EXP in January of 2019. So this is around the time when those that are, I say players that are doing business, have a little bit of free time, a little bit of downtime. They're thinking, and they're starting to move around. But not just right now, but I think my prediction is that for the next 12 to 18 months, there's going to be a great opportunity for you to grow your revenue share group beyond what you could even imagine that it could be, if you focus on it. Okay, if you focus on it. How many of you guys remember this book right here? Anybody remember that one? Sometimes you have to pull these books out and dust them. I think this is like 20 years old, if I'm not mistaken. And the thing is, about every 6, 7, 8, 9 years, the cheese moves. They took a bunch of mice. I say they, those scientists. They took a bunch of mice and they put cheese in a labyrinth. It was a maze, and it took a long time for the mice to figure out where the cheese was. It took a long time, days. But once they figured out where that cheese was, guess what happened? With 100% accuracy, they hit the cheese every single time. After they knew where it was, they hit it. And so what we've found in our industry, and this is what a lot of my agents are struggling with right now, is that, we knew where the cheese was the last couple of years. And now we're like, the cheese has been moved. That's all it is. This is a great market. I got to tell you, when the market is down, Dave talked about short sales. When the short sale market hit, I got my license in 2003, so I'm 20 years in the business. When the short sale game hit, it was catastrophic to a lot of people. But I made more money in the short sale space than I ever made in a what called, quote, good market. So for agent attraction, I really want you to start focusing on building your revenue share group so that when the next thing hits, after we get out of this one, it's going to hit again. Knock, knock. Hey, are you there? It's going to hit again. Trust me, it will hit again in another 6, 7, 8 years or sooner. And you'll be so prepared for it, because I got to tell you, the $20,000 that EXP sent me last month felt really good in this market. Okay, felt really good. Made my Christmas a little better. Okay, so let's look and see where you guys are coming in from. Is anybody showing any love to Uncle Knolly? Okay, so Philly's in the house. We got Texas. We got, hold on, I'm pretending like I can see. There we go. Now I got eyes. We got Allentown, Pennsylvania in the house, Ashburn, Virginia, Baltimore, Maryland, We got Catonsville, I'm saying that right outside Baltimore. Santa Rosa is in the house, Delaware. We've got Northern Virginia, Minnesota, Delaware again, Toronto, Canada, Chester County, PA. We got Annapolis. Man, you guys are from everywhere. I don't see Puerto Rico in here, but I'm here. So Granbury, Philly, Houston, I mean, it goes on and on. This is awesome. So what I really want to share with, 1998. Okay, all right. Kathy says 1998 is when this book came out. So yeah, things really don't change. You know, the Homo sapiens, we're a very forgetful race, okay? But things will be the way they are now, and things will be the way they were before. And so you just got to stick with it. Now, what I want to remind you of, and I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible and see if Uncle Knolly can have any time for Q&A. I'm actually live right now. I'm going live in my YouTube channel. That's the way we try to do it. Y'all know how we do it. It's multiple channels here, guys. Now, and this is the same stuff. All you got to do, if you want content, I've got over 1,000 pieces of content on my YouTube channel. Now, don't go take mine. I'm just saying, if you want content, just document your life like Dave does. Document your life and you'll have all the content that you need. And so I try to do that. So what I want to share with you, though, is I want to quickly go through the 9 laws of agent attraction. What I was going to, can I share something, Dave? Is it okay if I?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, cool. I promise I'll keep it clean.
I know you.
All right. Yeah, but just a little, just before I do that, just a little bit about my background. So I started as an entrepreneur. I was 12 years old when I became an entrepreneur. And I started doing it. This is God's honest truth. I started doing it because I grew up in an abusive household. Okay, my mom would beat us with extension cords. She would call us names. She would tell me that I was never going to amount to anything. You're worthless. And I got to tell you, it doesn't matter who, even if it's the one that brought you into this world that tells you that you can't amount to anything. Don't trust it. Don't believe it. Unless God Almighty says it, it's not true, okay? And I knew that at 12 years old, this started when I was about 7 when my mom and dad divorced. I started becoming, abused as a kid. Physical, mental, and emotional abuse. And I have the same name as my dad. Knolly Alexander Williams Jr. is my name. He's the same name, Senior. And mom hated dad. You know, they divorced. It wasn't good. And therefore, she sort of transferred her hatred onto me, who looked like him, had the same name, mannerisms, and everything. And so I had to learn very quickly how to survive. And part of survival was making money. I knew that. I knew it took money to live in this world. I knew that at 10, 11 years old. So at 12, I became an entrepreneur. I would sell newspapers door to door. I would sell candy in school. Okay, I'd take the packs of candy, break them up into smaller pieces, and then I'd sell individually. And I was enamored with this whole process of what we call profit. Then I started getting into mixing, DJing when I was 13. I got my turntables and started doing all that, and I started selling mixtapes. You know, you give me a tape, doesn't cost me any money at all, no cost of goods, and I give you back a mixtape for $10, okay? And I love doing that. And so by the time I was 16, I ran away from home, I left home, and I've been on my own ever since, okay? And so, you know, there's a lot of kids nowadays that are, and this is, you know, if that's your thing, 2 turntables and a microphone, come on. Yeah, you know what's up, Dave.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at. I got to tell you, I heard Run DMC's "It's Like That" and Sucker MC's. I had that back in the day. 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhyme, so I said this rhyme I'm about to say. You know, I heard that song and I was so enamored. I said, I got to do this. I got to become a rapper. And that's what got me in the rap game. I left home when I was 16. I was doing gangster rap. Now, I was living in California. I was in the LA area. We actually moved to South Central when I was 10 years old. So you got to imagine what it was like. You know, it was 1980, we moved there. Bad with a capital B. And the long story short is that I had to learn how to hustle. I was on the streets. And it wasn't good, guys. It wasn't the Knolly you know now. It was not good. I had a come to Jesus meeting when I was 18, literally come to Jesus. I came to Jesus And God changed my life. And I started going on a trajectory of doing entrepreneurship the right way and the legal way, okay? That's a big difference. And when my wife and I got married, within months, I quit my job and became an entrepreneur. And I've been an entrepreneur. I've not had a W-2 for over 30 years. And actually been an entrepreneur for 40 years, started when I was 12. So all that to say, and by the way, you know, Dave talked about me getting into rap music, so I started doing Christian rap. Soon we had the #1 Christian rap label in the world. We were making $150,000 a month, okay, in revenue. So literally I was making more in a week than my mom ever made in a year with her master's degree. And so all this, and by the way, my mom and I reconciled when I was 18. So everything's good there. I just went to see her. She's a much nicer person now. But I went to see her, Josie and I went to see her about 6 weeks ago. She's doing great. So let's talk about, so just real quickly, just to finish the story, because I don't want to leave you hanging. I got out of the rap game because what happened? My cheese got moved, okay? And what happened with that was that everything went digital, and I didn't know how to adapt with it. I'm just being honest with you. I did not know how to adapt or to adopt with the new market that the music industry threw me. And our sales went down 70%. And everybody was saying, man, you gotta go digital. You gotta convert everything to digital. I just got out of the game. I ended up, my wife and I had a 6,000 square foot home that we had to sell because it was in foreclosure. We were about to either lose it or sell it. We sold it. And I paid the agent, my Remax agent, $29,700 some to sell that house. Okay. And when I looked at the settlement statement right there, this happened in closing, I said, wait a minute, hold on a second. Maybe I can get in, maybe. And I told Jack McDonald, I said, you think I could do that? He said, do what? I said, do that, what you just did. You just got, and by the way, the guy, slick guy, great guy, wonderful guy, so taught me a lot of stuff, Jack McDonald did. But I didn't see him, like he did the listing appointment, and Josie and I never saw him again. Like we just literally never saw him again. We saw his agents would come out and meet with us and all that kind of stuff. I was like, man, this seems easy. That's what I was thinking. So I got in the real estate game. Jack gave me a lot of tutelage. I had other mentors as well. And I went straight into listings, okay? I took 21 listings my first 74 days in the business. And I just took to it like a duck to water. But I knew that the three things I needed was marketing, okay? I needed to know branding, and I needed sales. And those were really the three skills that I've been working on for the last couple of decades. Within a few years, by 4 years in my business, I became the #1 selling real estate agent in Austin, Texas. I did 96 transactions as a solo agent, no team. And that's when Gary Keller's office started calling me. Austin Business Journal came out with a report. My production was #1 in the entire city, almost 10,000 agents. And so Gary wanted to meet with me. I met with Gary. He personally recruited me to Keller Williams, and I was an ambassador. I was never going to leave Keller Williams. That's my story. Never going to leave. I had a personal line to Gary. He was really the reason I was there. We did a lot of projects together. Now, guess how many people I recruited to Keller Williams? I was there for 10 years, recruited by Gary Keller himself, okay? And personally spent hours and hours and hours like you wouldn't believe one-on-one with Gary. Just put in the chat, just guess. Now, I will tell you, I'll give you a little hint. I've recruited 2 EXP 160 to my front line in the last 5 years. So guess how many I recruited to Keller? In 10 years, I had to do this. Somebody says, Eli says 50. Okay, 75, Jennifer says. Who else? 200, Grady, okay? Who else? 275, Laura. Man, you guys are so generous. I recruited 7 people, okay? Can y'all see my hands? 7 people in 10 years. So I gotta tell you guys, I am naturally suck as a recruiter. I never would get the Recruiter of the Year award, ever, okay? But I found it here naturally so easy to recruit to EXP. And so my question is, why aren't more people, and I gotta say more capable people. There's a lot more capable people than Knolly Williams, I guarantee you that. I don't have past a 9th grade education. I'm kind of squeezing this in a little bit. because I'm just trying to tell you, if I can do it, you can. I dropped out of high school at 9th grade, okay? Did not complete past 9th grade. I got my GED just to see what college was all about. Went to college for less than a year, dropped out of college. Guys, trust me, this is something that you can do, okay? If I can do it, you can. 7 agents to Keller Williams and you know, in 10 years. So let me just show you. I'm going to go into the 9, what I call quickly, the 9 laws of agent attraction. We're going to quickly go into this. And I want you to adopt these laws in your life. Law number 1 is it's for you. I hear so many people, and that, by the way, this is not just for you. I'll share this slide deck with you if you need it. But this is not just for you. It's for your organization. It's for your team. It's for the people that you run across. We got to get out of the idea that agent attraction is not for me. Well, Knolly could do it, but it's not really my thing. You know, I used to say that about YouTube. Well, people say, man, well, how come you're not on YouTube? I'm like, well, you know, that I just make excuses. Okay, it's for you. Okay, I'm not successful, whatever. I've never sold a house. Forget about any of that crap. Agent attraction is for you. Let's grow. We're going to 500,000, and we're going to do it in the next 5 years. And we're going to go to 1 million plus here at EXP, and all that's going to be built under us. Okay, under who? Under those of us on this call right now. That's who, all those people are coming in under us. Okay, all right. So number 2 is you got to drop this false belief of I'm not a recruiter. I came into EXP with this belief, and by the way, I just got to be honest with you guys. I'm just now starting to get serious about agent attraction. When I say just now, I'm talking about I'm about to get real serious about it. And I'm actually doing it already. I've invested in some software, and I'm basically doing what I need to do to really monetize, because you know, the list that I have. So, I mean, I should have a lot more agents than I have, but I haven't taken it seriously. So drop this false belief of that you're not a recruiter. Okay, I don't want anybody in this class to ever say that again, because you've already seen, you know, Casey has, hopefully most of you have seen it, the definition of a recruiter, you know, and I'm just paraphrasing that it's really someone that cares enough about another individual to invest and sow into their career and help them. It's discipleship, it's leadership. When you become a recruiter, you begin to, you start to have a flock, and you start to step up your leadership game, okay? Law number 3 is the quality is in the quantity. Now, Gary used to say this all the time, and I never liked it. Dave, you probably remember this saying, the quality is in the quantity, just bring anybody. Do they have a pulse? Do they have breath coming out of them? Just bring them on. Well, I did learn from Rob Flick that actually we don't want everybody. You know, we're looking for those that are looking for us, right? We're looking for those that are looking for us. However, now that when I scrub the people that I'm actually reaching out to, they have to be doing at least 3 deals a year, somewhere in there. And that's not a lot, right? But that's an FLQA. And so that's sort of that's sort of a low quality, if you will, but the quality is in the quantity. And you guys have probably heard the saying that the duds lead to the studs. You know, it's kind of a harsh saying, but it is so true. You know, I've got a guy right now in my organization, great guy, wonderful guy, beautiful soul, okay? But he hasn't done much in agent attraction. He just brought on a brokerage, and this broker was the former president of the Savannah Association of Realtors, and as well as the MLS. And he knows a ton of people, and he's bringing them in. He's already brought in, he brought in 2 this week, and he's going to be bringing more. So not to say that the guy that brought him in is a dud, but you know what I'm talking about, right? The duds lead to the studs. So the quality is in the quantity, okay? Just bring in as many as you can. And if you have a little criteria, that's okay. Like they got to be an FLQA potential, that's okay. But they don't all have to be like Icon or cappers. Forget about that, okay? Consistency is key. If you want to be successful in agent attraction, and by the way, I'm not teaching you guys anything new. I'm here to remind you. That's what Uncle Knolly's job is, to remind you to do what you ought to be doing. It's consistency. It's time on the task over time. It's press and play, never taking your foot off the lead generation pedal, and consistently doing what you need to do, whether it's you work an hour and a half a day on agent attraction or 1 day a week. But it will take some time. Raise your hand if you ever worked more than one job back in the day. Come on now. Some of y'all gotta rattle your memory a little bit. Some of you guys like, you know, it's like, oh, did I ever? Oh yeah, I used to work. I got to tell you, I used to work 3 jobs. Anybody ever work 3 jobs? Let me see. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. So I had my day job, you know, full time. Then I had my night job. And then of course, I had my weekend job. That's just the way we did it. We call it making ends meet until we learn better, right? Well, the truth is you got 2 jobs right now. If you're still in production, which, you know, I'm not in production anymore, but if you're still in production, you know, you got to produce, and you got to be going after the number one. You should be focused on listings, and you should be focusing on those that have to sell. You know, there's 3 kinds of sellers, right? Those that want to sell, those that need to sell, and those that have to sell. And that's who you want to be going after. So yeah, you're going to still have your regular job. We used to call it regular job. I got my regular job. Yeah, you got your regular job, but you're going to have a side job, okay? And you're going to have it for how long? Until you don't. You know, you're going to have a running buddy or somebody you can pass the baton to. You're in the race. I got to tell you, you are in the race, and you're going to run that race. You're going to run that mile. You're going to run that marathon until you have somebody that you can pass the baton to. No, forget about what season it is, what time of year, and you know, raise your hand if you sold a house on Christmas Day. I have. My hand's staying up. I've sold homes on Christmas Day. Okay, and now we didn't close on them, but I was out, you know, showing property, doing what I had to do. So consistency really is key. So when you get to a certain point, I know Brent says it all the time. He got to a certain point and he stopped. And I tell him, Brent, don't be saying that out loud. He said, yeah, but that's what I did. Well, okay, but you can do that. I can't. Okay, don't give me any crazy ideas. So consistency really is key. Law number 5 is that the fortune is in the follow-up. Now I know a lot of you, because I coach agents all the time, that's what I do, you kind of are sucky at the follow-up. But I'm got to tell you, the fortune is there. One of my coaching clients, he went, Andy Green, coached him way back in the day, and he was at 25 million. He just couldn't figure out how to get his production up from 25 million. And he did one simple thing. He hired a VA to follow up on his people. 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's all he did, okay? And 20 hours, and he was paying her like $5 an hour, okay? And his production in 12 months, while I was coaching him, went from 25 million to 50 million with that one tweak, okay? The fortune really is in the follow-up. And if you suck at it, get somebody to do it, okay? I hired somebody to do mine. You know, she just went through, got her license and everything. So she's licensed and can have certain conversations. But, you know, if you've got a lot of people in your database, maybe you're an influencer, you're a trainer, you're a coach, and you've got a lot of people in your database, and you're just not following up with these people, you've got to have somebody do that for you, because that's where the fortune is. You know, not everybody's going to join right away. And it took me, I mean, people were telling me about EXP for years before I joined. Okay. Why? Because I was a knucklehead. There's no other reason. Law number 6, don't be emotionally attached to the outcome. It's like, you know, I brought a guy to shareholders, and I brought people to other things, and then they joined EXP with somebody else. I'm like, what is going on? Look, I'm not emotional about it. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get my unfair share. It's no problem. You know, I remember when I used to drive home and I would see other agents' signs in my neighborhood. Man, I would get bored, boy. I would just want to go kick the sign and everything. But I remember the little voice of God would come in. He said, Knolly, you ain't my only child. I said, what, God? He said, you're not an only child. I got other kids. I was like, okay, God, all right, I get it. So God does have other mouths to feed, but here's the reality. Don't get emotionally attached to the outcome. If it doesn't go, you know, and you know how Rob Flick says, he puts a line in the sand. You've already talked to me. You know what we offer. You watched the model explain with me, and you're still not joining. He said, that's where you cross the line of what I call stupid. He calls it the stupid line. You cross the line of stupid, you know, then he's kind of hands off at that point. Don't be emotional about it though, okay? It's you know, people, like Gene Frederick says, people their gate has to be open. Okay, and if you haven't heard his speech on that, go to YouTube and you'll find it. The gate has to be open. Law number 7 is you got to follow the system. There is a 4-step process. I've tried it my way, and when I got into EXP, I was like, man, this is Knolly Williams. I'm gonna do agent attraction my way. I don't care what Brent says, and I'll get a couple nuggets from them, but I'm gonna do it my way. Guess what? Wrong. Try again. Okay. There is one way to agent attract, and it's the 4-step process. Okay. And I'm going to share with you. You guys already know the four simple steps. This is just the way it is. I've tried to do it my way. It doesn't work. There are models that we can follow. Number 1, you make a big list. Okay. Number 1, make a big list. When I say big, I mean big. 100, 200 names. Number 2, you reach out. You reach out to those people. Number 3, you watch the model explained with them. Okay, watch the model explained with them. Don't send them a video and expect them to watch it. They won't do it. You already know they won't do it. Watch the model explained with them. And then number 4, you book them on a 3-way call with your sponsor or somebody in your upline that you trust to do a 3-way call with you. I've actually got a resource for you guys that I'm going to throw in the chat. I'm not going to do it now because I know what you'll do. You'll go right to it and you'll just tune Uncle Knolly out. So I'm not going to even do it now. I was tempted to do it now, but I'm not. Okay, but you got to follow the system. So if you're stuck on any of this, I've got a whole sort of website that I built on ClickFunnels where I teach my revenue share group. And I tried to keep it a secret for a long time, but there's no secrets in this business. And so now I just basically share it with anybody that's wanting to build a rev share. You may not be in my direct line, but you still here at EXP, that means we're cousins, right? It's okay. We're still family. All right, so law number 8 is you got to know the product. I got to tell you, Dave, I'm amazed at how many people don't know the product. You know, it's like, they say that it's an MLM and all this other garbage that people say. But if you were truly in an MLM, I bet you would know what the ingredients were of that lotion or the pills that you're selling. What the active ingredient. A lot of people don't even know about our active ingredients. What is going on? Hold on a second. Now, I'm not saying you have to know everybody. Well, you should know everything about EXP. Listen, if you're trying to become an expert recruiter, you got to use the product and love it. Okay? And because otherwise, you're just trying to sell something that you're not even familiar with. You don't know anything about it. Okay? That doesn't excuse that you have to still do the 3-way call. Okay? Don't be Mrs. Know-it-all. But you should know the product. The product is EXP. Okay, you should know all the new programs we have, what we're rolling out, what we're about to roll out, what we just rolled out, what we stopped, what we no longer do, what we discontinued, the new upgrades to the mentorship program, all kinds of stuff that we got going on. And it's always changing. That's right. You guys always upgrading is a better word than change. We're always upgrading, okay? Up-leveling is what we do here. So law number 9, this is the last law. The results are so worth the effort. So worth the effort. Yes, it is going to be a second job. Yes, you are going to have to put in work. Yes, it's not necessarily easy. And people say it's hard, but like my mentor, Michael Burnoff, says, it's not hard. Knolly, it's not hard. But it's hard. No, it's not hard. It's harder than you want it to be. I'd love it to be easy, but if it were, everybody'd be up on the board instead of just 12% of us that are getting revenue share. And I'm okay with that. I want more people to be getting revenue share, but I'm going to get mine and you're going to get yours. Okay. So the results are so worth the effort. And that's what I wanted to really share with you guys. I have another training on that I decided not to do, which is how to attract 40 to your front line, that's the new, 40 is the new 30 or 30 is the new 40, however, whatever. Anyway, you still want to get that number on your front line, but that training is going to be on this resource that I give you. I'm going to let you come back in the conversation, Dave, because I know we're at time. We're over time.
A little bit.
That's how Uncle Knolly does it. What's up?
That's so good, man. So
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
I didn't write that one down. I don't know why.
Law number 1 is it's for you.
It's for you.
It's for you, yeah. Because a lot of people say, man, agent, and 88% of the agents at EXP think it's not for them. Because 88% of EXP agents did not get a revenue share check last month.
Yeah, crazy, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so, is it 12%, Dave, or is it, what's that stat? You probably know it better than I do.
Receiving revenue share?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 12% receiving revenue share.
Well, I got mine.
Yeah.
I don't know about, no, just kidding. No, we don't do it like that. You know, and this is the reason, yeah, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I'm saying I think that it's increased from there, but it was 12%. I feel like it's gone up, but you know, with a high growth company, right? We have so many people coming in, and
Right.
it takes a while for that cycle for them to get
Sure.
in, get acclimated, go talk to people, those people to go through the transition process and stuff. So you know, if you froze it in time, it would be a lot higher. But because we're so high growth, we just constantly have new people coming.
Yeah,
in.
of course,
But,
of course.
But still, yeah, it's the 80-20 rule in effect, like everything else.
Yeah, and you know the 80-20, I recently wrote a book, actually this one right here, you guys can still see that. So McGraw-Hill actually paid me to write this book. They gave me a very hefty upfront fee to write this book based on research, and the 80-20 is now the 90-10. And so what we've learned is that, I'm actually sharing this link with you guys, so I'm sort of multitasking, which I'm not good at. What we learned is that 10% of the things that you do every day are creating 90% of your wealth. Okay, 10%. So if you could focus on, like, for example, there's only two problems that real estate agents will ever have, or any business entrepreneur, actually. You either don't have enough money or you don't have enough time, okay? And if you didn't really take care of yourself the way you should have over the last 5 years, when the market was like sick, then you're suffering right now, you know, because you're not like the squirrel that name one squirrel. Well, squirrels don't have names, but you get it. Tell me a squirrel that didn't put away nuts for the winter. Just tell me one. Just show me one. You ever seen any dead squirrels out in the yard at winter? They know how to put it away. And sadly, we do a sucky job of doing that. You know, like the Realtor's prayer, Lord, please help me to never waste another economic boom. That's the Realtor's prayer. And yet we find ourselves and I'm guilty of this too. Okay, but I did do the agent attraction piece, not to the degree that I should have at all. Now that I'm seeing where the market is, I know I need more agents because a lot of agents aren't making money right now, and a lot are. I've got a lot of agents that are making a lot of money right now by doing the right things. So anyway, so 10% of the things that you're doing are resulting in 90% of your results.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And guys, this is the time, as Knolly pointed out to you guys, you know, this is the time. This is the time when you guys are looking at it in your own business. You're coming to the end of the year. You're looking at your 1099s. You're looking at your reports. You're looking at everything else and going, how did I do compared to my goals? You know, it was a funky year. What kind of impact did that have on my business? How was I able to pivot, to adjust? And what am I going to do differently in 2024 to take advantage of what's coming, right? Whether it's, more craziness, whether the, rates drop and things take off again, whatever it is, the good agents, the good business people, and anyone who's looking to build a great business, they are looking at their business right now and trying to figure out what moves they can make, what changes they can make to be prepared, which is why that makes this the time when they're open to a conversation.
Absolutely. And someone was saying here, let me see, that only 6%, Jennifer, thank you for that, says only 6% of our people have 2 or more agents. So this is a great opportunity. If you're interested in revenue share, you wouldn't be if you have to be interested. What am I trying to say? What, Uncle Knolly, hey, is anybody home? All right. You would not be here if you were not interested in this topic. So, you're going to be, I'm so happy for this model because it's always been in fact, I just launched a nonprofit to help agents learn, or not agents, but help anybody learn how to become an entrepreneur, young people. Because I feel like there's a lot of people that are kind of stuck in the gap like I was. and they just need to learn how to launch a business, how to start a DBA, and so on. And we're going to be bringing them that knowledge. You know, Scripture says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." And so the knowledge right now, what you need to focus on, what you should focus on, if you choose to be wealthy and rich, like I do, it's up to you. I mean, I tried broke. I didn't like it, you know, but I tried it out. But the reality is, you have a choice. And if you really want to be a leader, you want to direct people, you want to have the maximum opportunity, you're going to focus on the next 12 to 18 months on really building your organization. That's the focus. That's the game.
I
Hey,
love it.
all right, love y'all.
Knolly, thank you, man. I appreciate you so much. Guys, the wave is upon us, so you need to start paddling, right? Start paddling. The wave is right behind you, and if you don't want it to just go underneath and keep on rolling, then you get to watch it in the distance and watch other people having fun riding that wave. If you want to be riding that wave, you got to start paddling. Now's the time. Start paddling. Knolly, man, I appreciate you. We got our 9 laws, and this is phenomenal. Thanks for pouring into us. Thanks for bringing your knowledge to us. We love you. We appreciate you, and we hope you'll come back and talk with us again in 2024.
Thanks for the opportunity, and thank y'all for being here. Love you. I know there's a lot of places you could be right now, and thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate it.
We love you back. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody celebrating, guys. We will see you soon.
See you soon. Laters.
Bye, everyone.
Recording
Thank
stopped.
you.
Bye, guys. Have an awesome weekend.
You too.
Thank you, Knolly. Love you, buddy.
Love you too. Bye, Kristen. All right, that's it, y'all. Thanks for watching me live. And I actually was on a Zoom call and just wanted to share what I'm up to with you. And I'm telling you, this new year is going to be quite amazing. And I'm actually looking for more people to partner with. So if you know somebody that needs a great mentor, a great leader, you know, send them my way. I'd be happy to help in any way I can. God bless. Peace out.